Greetings! Welcome to the inaugural episode of Critical Review. With me today is the lovely Aurora Jane and Justin Firewolf.
Hey.
We are talking episode 86, right, of Critical Role. Tarry and Darrington's lovely exposure, I will say. So how did you guys enjoy this episode?
There was a lot going on, but it didn't seem like much happened either, so it was kind of weird. I enjoyed the journey Tarry started to take.
You call it a journey? I call it just a trip.
Well, he went from, brush in everybody's face, elf girl, elf boy, four eyes, Jumbo. Oh, that was one of my favorite, though, when Grog started calling him Tarry and Jumbo.
That was one of my favorite moments in the later part of the show, was them all realizing he has no idea what our actual names are.
Yeah. I love that. Do you know our names? No.
That was my favorite part. I don't normally do this, but what is your name?
Yeah.
That's a great line.
At the end.
Oh.
Beginnings of a budding romance.
I love when Matt was just like, so you take Tarry and you just start walking out. No, we're not leaving just yet. So I'm like, yeah, no, I can easily see you just starting to talk to someone about gadgets and just moving out of the room. Next being like, what the hell?
Especially our journey into the treasury.
Yeah. That was the easiest segment.
I would not have called that by then that they would be best friends like that. Because in a certain way, it started with him going, are you familiar with levers?
Well, not just that, but also, Vax saying, I don't like this guy.
Right?
But then after he started making the elf girl thing, he's like, I like him. And, it never went back to, who was it? Was it Keyleth or was it Grog who made the statement of, the two people who normally don't like anyone like him. Something's not right. Someone made that comment. I can't remember who it was. I just remember.
That's how it was said. That sounds like Percy.
Yeah.
I think all the animosity, though, was because of Sam, not necessarily the character of Tyrion.
I think it was a combination.
I think last week, they all kind of accepted that this is where things are going. And Tyrion's still a dick.
Oh, yeah.
Or douche nozzle is. Keyleth has learned to say.
It's her new favorite phrase.
She counted it three times.
I love it. Who was it? Somebody's last name. She actually had it written down. Oh, Jarrett's.
Yeah, Jarrett's last name. They're like,
yes.
Of course she has it written down. Of course.
She is very good at taking notes.
Yeah.
And,
except for
so much taking them, but organizing them to where she can find them.
Yeah.
So it always works out well for her.
Yeah, I just like the whole fact of Tarry just being like, so, when are we going on this quest? What do you mean we just finished the quest?
Darling, we just finished, don't you know?
So I meant to make a clip of it, but if you can remember it, what was your favorite title for his book?
Oh, I don't have all of them. I would need the list.
Huck Finn one cracked me up.
That one was funny. I liked the Daring Adventures for Dummies or something like that.
The Daring Adventurers Guide.
Dungeons and Darians.
Yes.
Dungeons and Darians. That was one of the ones I really laughed at.
I say the Daring Times of Tarry and Darrington, I think was one of the ones I liked.
There were some funny ones. I wish I could remember all of them.
And my thing is, I don't think he had any of those written down. I think those were spur of the moment.
No, he had the last one he came up with was the...
Because he goes, I just
that one hits so flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, can Tarry pay the bills, or is he going to keep shortchanging them?
He's going to shortchange them.
Well, I think he gets so much of an allowance from his dad, so it's kind of like, how much can I give them to keep them happy?
So we went from 50,000 down to 16.
Yeah.
And he wrote a check. He didn't actually pay it.
Right.
No, my thing is, I think he's already been cut off.
No.
I think he's been cut off, and he's just like, here's a check. Because his dad already said, or he already told him, his dad does not trust him at all. He's not getting any money at all in inheritance. It's all going to his sister.
Or, what if all of that's just a setup? And he's a patsy because the dad's heard of all these adventures of Vox Machina, and he wants to own them or wants to get at them for some way, and this is the only way Tyrion can actually.
So you're saying him running into them wasn't even by chance?
No, it wasn't an accident.
I mean, that kind of goes with the last line that he said, which was, and this is how I became the leader of this ragtag group.
Yeah.
Did he say leader?
He
Well,
made it like
basically, he sounds like, because right after he had his big breakdown, he told Dodie to basically cross all that out, and I lied to them, or.
Well, see, now, is that him revealing the secret, or is that him just changing history for his book?
Either was possible. That's what I'm saying. Like, it could be, he's as presented, where he got cut off and he's looking to adventure so he can prove his work to his father. So all of that, was completely true and in character, or it could all be bullshit.
See, I think it's both. I think because how he described his father's business, it's cutthroat. You backstab people to get what you want.
Now, what did you guys say? They thought the class. I thought that was a pretty good.
Oh, that his
assumption.
dad's part of the class?
Yeah.
No, because he said he's from Wildmount, didn't he?
Yes,
Where the Briarwoods were from.
Do we know how far the class spreads, though? It's a secret organization of rogues.
I get that, but I don't see... To me, it was more... Like you said, real estate, but even real estate is more like, okay, well... I think of it more as like blackmail. Like, they're in government.
Slumlord.
Oh, I was thinking like owning people almost.
Could be.
So like...
Could be a slave trader.
Not even a slave trader.
Well,
but
we
like,
don't know anything about Wildmount. Like,
no,
I think they were eventually planning on going there.
But they had no need to
Because they took care of everything, but didn't assume...
Well, that's one of the theories I thought why Scanlan also wanted to retire, or Sam wanted to retire Scanlan. Because his adventure is goblins. That's kind of a low-level adventure, and I think Matt kind of brought up that he's having trouble maybe making this an interesting pass. Like, you take Scanlan and Kaylee and go and do it. That's much more exciting because now it's two people instead of a whole party.
Yeah.
So now we have Tarry in with a new adventure that could be suited for the level.
I just hated the way they had Scanlan leave. Like,
I think that was a very Scanlan thing to happen, though, because as he made the point, he remembered everyone else's family.
See, I don't remember them ever talking about his mother's name, though.
Maybe not in Critical Role itself, but they'd been together for a year before that.
Yeah.
And they had talked about pasts before that. Stuff that we as fans had never seen.
True, but it's like everybody else's past got brought up, like, kind of over and over again. Like, they had to deal with the herd because they had to get the Titan's Gravestone Knuckles. So Grog's past came into play. They ran across the twins' dad in Singhorn. So the twins' past came into play. Keyleth's whole Aramente dealing with, the Fire Shari and the Air Shari came into play with the Conclave.
But they all also brought it up.
Pike's grandpa came into play. Like, none of Scanlan's stuff came into play.
Because he was an orphan. Like, that's another big reason, I think.
Well, theoretically, so is Percy. And look at how big of a story came there. I think it's character driven. I don't know. The hard thing is you don't know the backstory. You don't know if Sam just didn't make any issue. You don't know if that just wasn't part of where Matt's storyline was going.
See, I don't see that. I see it more as Scanlan is not the type of character, like, wasn't the character who was out to be to make it all about himself. He made it seem like it was about himself, but he went out of his way to help everyone else.
Yeah.
And his biggest thing is, once he found Kaylee, nothing else mattered. Nothing. That was all that he cared about. He didn't care about his past, because he never brought it up, because he wanted to... To me, it felt like he wanted to forget about it. That was in the past, that's what happened to me. Whatever it was is what it was. Because as other people started talking about the childhood, you noticed he never said a word in those conversations. Ever. He never talked when Vax and Vex brought up their father and their mother dying to a dragon.
Well, Vax even throws that in his face.
Yeah.
He never brought it up.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, maybe also realizing why aren't you bringing it up? Like, we've been together now for like 2 years. How come you've never said anything? Like, it feels like there is a disconnect.
I feel like the drug use was what he was going to use as his way of getting into his storyline.
Yeah.
But I think the double death kind of changed that. I think he really thought he was permadead and was ready to move on, and they brought him back.
With it.
Yeah, and I think that he was like, well, I'm just going to throw a wrench in your plans then, because I want to play a new character now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine too. Like I said, I just wasn't a big fan of the way he left. It's like, I understand it.
It was great storytelling, though.
The entire thought process of him leaving, of wanting to explore everything with Kaylee, I was totally on board for that. Totally understood it. But just like super throwing things in everybody's face, and which, you know, I get it's the whole, it's easier to leave somebody mad than to be sad.
Yep.
But
Well, to me, it wasn't just that. It's also him pointing out to them that I have my own past. I have my own things I have to deal with. And now you won't make this mistake again. Because as they did with Tarry...
picked every bone they could of Tyrion's life.
I get that. But see, and then I also think of it the other way, you know, where he never brought it up, and he's like, well, you guys never asked. It's also a thing where some people realize that things are sensitive subjects, so they don't pry into you. Yeah. They don't make you go somewhere that you don't want to go.
Well, the line of questions they did in the episode, I was going, are they trying to make up for Scanlan, or are they fishing for lies and story?
I think it's probably both.
Well, like it felt like it was the first, or the latter, and then they hit the, what's your mother? What's your brother? They hit all those beats that Scanlan brought up. I was like,
Yeah, that, to me, it was initially to find the lie, and then once they did like 2 insight checks, it was like, okay, well now let's just get like truth and like other information that we might not have. I think the other thing that I know a lot of people in Twitch chat didn't like, but I loved, was Sam using a regular
regular mug.
Regular mug.
Yeah,
and
a little
I did notice that when I came.
Yeah. I thought that was so clever that he got rid of his giant style.
Well, and what else I liked about it is it's not just a regular mug, it's super shiny and
pristine,
and I was like his armor.
Yes, exactly.
The only thing that was better is it had some jewels on it.
Yeah, like to jewel impress at the bottom, or the bottom, because I'm going to look that on my lips, so I would say the bottom. The part I am liking, though, is that Grog is very vocal about, don't scry.
Yeah, leave Scanlan alone.
Leave him as he is. Like, it's happened like 2 or 3 times already where Keyless wanted to scry on him, and Grog's like, no, leave him be.
Yeah.
So, and that was the other part that bothered me, where he was like, you know, Vax has Keyleth, and Percy and Vex have each other, and Grog has Pike, and I was like, you know what? No, for the most part,
Grog and Scanlan.
It had been Grog and Scanlan, like, especially with how often Ashley left. Grog and Scanlan in the beginning had way more of a relationship in my eyes than Pike and Grog. And even though Pike and Grog has this great backstory, and I love, you know, monster, you know, I love that. It's adorable. I just, especially in the beginning, felt that Scanlan and Grog had a huge relationship. Like, especially the part where Grog's in the outhouse talking to the sword, and Scanlan's standing guard. Like, that was hilarious. And that to me was like a buddy cop thing almost. Like, I would love to watch the adventures of Grog and Scanlan.
Yeah, well, no, to me,
they used to whore around together too.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, they had a relationship. So for him to say he didn't have anybody, I thought was crap.
Yeah. Let's cue up a clip. America's new favorite pastime.
Take your other hand, and you either make a boulder, a piece of paper, or a pair of shears.
Shears, that's good.
Right? And we do it on
Should have been parchment.
That's what I thought too.
You never played boulder, paper, shears?
Marisha's best moment in the entire show.
That's the best thing you've ever said, Marisha.
Yes, I agree with Sam.
That just went right up. It burned.
That's like the other thing.
That's not fun.
Through all this, and 3 people had stuff going
Of course I played boulder, paper, shears.
I'm laughing so much.
Yeah.
Just to see who goes first. Ready?
1, 2,
And on the
3.
third one, I cast a large with a tiny
That part, and
stone.
when he's like,
That part, I was like, oh shit.
well, no, I like the part he goes, and when Donnie looks back, he's looking at my nipples.
side.
Okay, they're hiding him. Okay,
Yeah.
you're going after Doty.
Yep.
With just your hands?
Yeah, just a backhand.
Okay, both of you guys will attack.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
And
crazy.
I rolled a natural 20. Of course, the rogue rolls a natural 20.
On sneak.
It doesn't. Well, no, that was on the hit.
Well, I mean, as he's sneaking.
Yeah. That's great.
So, are you guys familiar with boulder, parchment, shears?
I'm always going to check behind me before I play that game.
I was just trying to think how they would, take it up to the next level, going boulder, parchment, shears, gecko. But,
No, dragon.
Well, you could. I would say you could just switch lizard to dragon,
And then you do like Allura.
or Percy or
Or
something for Spock.
Not Percy.
Well, because
To me, it would.
Spock disproves, or what does Spock do?
Vaporizes rock.
Oh,
Yeah.
Paper disproves Spock. Spock vaporizes rock.
well then just go Grog then. Grog smashes rock.
Paper.
Parchment disproves rock!
That's great.
Oh, I want them
Dragon-
to,
those t-shirts.
I want them to go to a village now and have little kids.
Playing that.
Yeah. Boulder, parchment,
Cheers.
shears, dragon, grog.
It's like all of a sudden Grog's name goes everywhere. And he's just like, I'm known! I'm the Grog!
Philip.
No, that's what it's going to be.
Philip is a
it's
loser,
not
and we
going
do not speak of him.
I was going to say, no, it's no longer going to be Grog, it will be Philip. So it's going to be Boulder, Parchment, Shears, Dragon, Philip. Because Philip will lose the paper, but Grog will not.
Could you write down your name for me?
G.
No, that's what he said to Tarry at the beginning of the episode.
86 points of damage, though.
Okay.
Holy
Rogues.
crap.
Gotta love those rogues.
That's high rolls on top of that, though. That's a lot of sixes that came up.
He rolls, what, 4d6 or 5d6 now? I think it's
For a sneak
for a
attack?
sneak attack.
It's gotta be like 10d6.
I thought the max was 10d6.
I don't think there's a max.
Well, no, max, like, being level between, I want to say 17 and 20 is 10d6, and then
Well, they're at like level 16.
16, but he hasn't skilled up his rogue in 3
He
levels.
has been. Well, do we know which ones he's leveling up, or?
Yeah, he took the second one, in his second level, the last 2 level ups have been in Paladin.
Oh yeah, because they're multi-classing.
Because he's multi-classing into Paladin. And so he's getting, I think, his next level will also go into Paladin. Because then he gets to choose his way.
Pretty sure it's the Raven Queen's way.
Yes, but, there's different paths. And so they can both follow it.
So yeah, he's at roughly probably 76 sneak attack damage.
Yeah.
I'm wondering too, since they're from Wildmount, if this is going to be some type of a way to kind of bring things back to the orb and the Briarwoods and what's going on below Whitestone.
I'm still waiting for that orb. That has something else besides Vecna on it.
Well, it's like something's got to happen there, and something's got to happen with the Raven Queen. Like, they've taken too many people from death for...
Oh, no, I have a feeling that Vax is going to be get put into the next death. He's going to be almost compelled to sabotage the ritual. If nothing else. If not, to have no one provide any aid or to actually, stop it.
I don't think he's supposed to sabotage, he's just not supposed to interfere.
He's not supposed to let anyone interfere.
Those who have met their fate, like their fate line is ended, who have come back, need to die. That's his job. And if Scanlan has met his fate line, then bringing him back goes against the Raven.
But then here's the other part. Isn't being resurrected still a continuation of your fate?
Because you were fated to be resurrected?
Yep.
Mm.
And if you
depends on how they do fate in this world.
Oh yeah, and that's a big question to me because it's like if you're fated to die and you die, but then someone brings you back, then you have no fate.
To me, I go off a lifeline. When you were born, you die at this point. If you were killed before then, someone interrupted your
timeline.
Yeah. And so coming back from that doesn't go against the Raven Queen. But if you live past that, then she wants you dead.
I'm just wondering because the Raven Queen was once human, so hasn't she also lived past her lifeline?
I don't know much about the Raven
I'm
Queen.
just. That was one thing because she was.
She became a god. She's not living per se anymore. Just because you're in existence doesn't mean you're living.
Okay.
I mean, you take it to that level.
Yeah.
Stargate.
I was just kind of going, okay, so like you just become ghosts. You just haunt.
It's not so much ghosts. It's that you ascend. You're at
Yeah.
a higher level of being. I mean, that's like in Stargate. That's the ancients were once humans, basically.
Back to the hazing. Greatest sound came out of that.
You, Tarry, fall to your knee and find a large portion of your vitality and breath and just general awareness knocked out of you from one singular blow from nowhere. Your eyes go white for a second.
This
You
is
feel
the
like,
sound that I make.
What was Darry?
so,
Do I get a shot?
When knocked
we're-
out of you and failed.
that was a surprise round because you were not aware of this circumstance. We're running
Almost as
through
good as
combat.
when he eats dirt.
Yes. Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
I mean, that was so pathetically awesome. Just
Oh yeah, that was funny. I think he's gonna have a bromance with Percy, which
Yeah.
I'm okay with because up until the Briarwoods and Vex's interaction with Percy, he's kind of just sort of been there.
Yeah.
So
Does he or does he not have a thing for Keyleth?
What?
No.
Terry.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
There's an awkward moment. Vex is like picking up. He's like, "What are you getting at? That's my girl, motherfucker.
I would be okay.
I just started liking you. Don't make me stab you."
I would be okay with that because I am in the minority. I am still not a fan of the Vex Keyleth situation. I'm just not. I don't know why, but I'm
You
not.
hate Keyleth.
I don't hate Keyleth. She's just not one of my favorites.
She's your least favorite character.
Now.
Always.
No, that is not true.
Who was it before?
Orion.
I think I just like the whole interaction from like after the knocked out, almost near knocked out, and just like, oh, you mean your robot can take a hit? Okay, well.
Well, Keyleth heals him too.
Oh yeah.
Right in the beginning.
14 points.
I thought it was more than I thought it was like 34.
No. No. I'll give him
Healing
the
word
healing
is very
word.
low.
I'll give him a little bit of help. But to me, it's. I like the whole interaction when it was like, "Are you sure you want to be with us? Are you sure you want to be around? We are not sane people. We are not safe people." And it's just like, welcome to the real
Trouble
world.
finds us.
Really? Does trouble find them, or do they find trouble?
Well, I mean, the whole point is for them to find the trouble. Otherwise,
I would say she did specifically say that trouble finds them.
yeah.
And it's not really true. They go looking for trouble.
Oh, no, they're gonna go to the Nine Hells. I'm pretty sure you're looking for trouble.
Well, they're trying to make sure trouble doesn't find them this time.
Yeah, well,
If you know death is coming for you, do you
Oh yeah.
try and
Well,
meet it, or do you try and hide and let it get a sneak attack on you?
Again.
Yeah. Like, I feel like, Vax has died quite a few times. I mean...
Who's died the least? Grog? Grog's died once.
I think Keyleth.
Yeah, I think it's still Keyleth.
I don't think she's died at all.
I don't think she's died at all yet.
Or
Critical Role stats probably has the answer.
Oh yeah.
I'm
or
sure they do.
or Pike. I don't think Pike is.
She's died once at least.
Yeah, we know she died at least once.
She almost died twice, but
Yeah,
her
during
armor saved her.
Yeah.
And that's happened at least twice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like actually like needed a resurrection spell. I'm not saying knocked unconscious. I'm saying
So
resurrection
Pike's
spell.
been dead once.
Yeah.
I think Keyleth's the only one that hasn't gone completely down.
That's one thing. They like now.
Well, then in that case, I don't know if Vax ever had
He's
a resurrection, though.
Oh, true.
I know Vex did, I know Grog did, I know Pike did.
I think Vax
First he did.
towards the beginning. I want to say he had one. I think he was the first one we saw.
So we definitely know Percy just had one.
Yeah. Scam.
Percy's had 2.
Yeah.
Recently.
Recently?
I want to say.
Well, I think they got back from Kraken.
Because he didn't go down the first Reichon fight.
Mm-mm.
They got back from Kraken.
I think he never goes full range. Like, he's always, like, within
That's because
being hit range. It's like, dude, you have a fucking sniper rifle. Get your ass 60 feet, 120 feet back.
Yeah.
Bad News has, like, a range of 300 feet or something.
Yeah, it's like a longbow.
Oh.
It's just, I think to him, it's like, yeah, I can go way back there, but I can't help if something really bad starts happening.
What's he gonna do?
To him, it's having animus and having the cloak and being able to kind of do that stuff.
Well, now, yeah, with the cloak.
To me, it's that. It's what's the electrical glove?
The diplomacy.
Diplomacy. I'm just trying to think of like lawmaker. No, it's like
diplomacy, retort, Bad News, and
animus.
Animus?
Animus.
Okay,
That's
animus.
Ripley's gun.
Okay.
Because actually, I think retort is Ripley's gun too. He doesn't have his own gun.
He doesn't have, aside from Bad News, he doesn't have
Yeah.
any of his
Yeah, no,
guns.
his
He hasn't had a moment to breathe.
His pepper box got tossed in the acid.
Yep. That's still my favorite part.
You ruined everything. Any quotes jump out at you guys? I'll go with mine because it's
I was like, I feel like I need to say
because you just recently brought up League of Their Own. There's no crying in the Nine Hells.
Yes. I thought that I was like,
Oh.
yes.
And of course, are you familiar with Levers?
Yeah.
There's some pulleys in there, and
Yeah.
What
what's
wasn't it
wrong
there?
with my antler? Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. To me, it was. Wasn't there something about doors as well? Like we need someone who can be really good with doors.
If there was, I missed that.
Yeah.
I felt like because that was like the one that might have been out of character talk. But I also like respect the antlers that heal you.
Pike's departure. Because she's not around, or
She's not around.
do you think this was kind of her choice of, I need to be away right now again?
No, I think it's just because she's not around. They're waiting for Blind Spot to finish up so Ashley can come back. I mean, even Matt was like,
Finish blind
finish
spot.
up, so you can come
You should
back
be
to
done.
us.
They're I think doing the last episode right now for blind spot.
Well, even
Yeah,
once
it made it
it's
sound
done, she still only seems to get like a week or two before she has to go on press tours and
Yeah.
conventions and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's.
But I also wonder if Matt doesn't feel like it's fair to be utilizing Pike when Ashley's not there.
Yeah.
I like the Jaegering. I thought that was working really well.
It's.
I don't like when Matt's in charge of Pike. But when, Vax
See,
and
Vax
Vex
and
were
Vex
doing
were
a great job, I thought.
That was okay.
See, to me, I almost would say Matt would be playing her a little bit more reserved because you don't have Ashley there to be who she would want Pike to be in that situation. He's playing it based off of kind of what Ashley's probably dictated to him as what her goals or drives are. And Vax and Vex, or for,
Well, not only that, you gotta realize, like, Ashley does not roll well, so,
No.
like, Matt usually does.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, to me, I think Matt has balanced dice. I don't think Ashley has balanced dice.
she needs new dice, that poor girl.
Always check your balance of your dice.
Like, I cannot imagine if she had Laura's temper with dice. Like,
Yeah, I would see
I know that.
all of the dice. Just you're all in jail.
Yep.
Which one rolled last? You. Okay. Don't fail me now, or you're going across the room.
Vex trying to alleviate her guilt by giving Grog his deck back, and then having tried to explain to him that she's giving back the deck that she never gave him back.
Can I insight check her? You're completely confused. There's a lot of words. You're really not sure. You really couldn't follow. It was really boring.
How long until he pulls a card?
Next episode. Mainly because he's going to say something to Tarry.
Oh.
Ooh.
He's told he can't pull a card, or he can't look at it. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean
he
someone
can't.
else can't.
That's true.
With all Terry's wondrous items, though, I'm betting he knows what a deck of many things is, and he's not gonna want to be near when that thing gets pulled.
I don't see. My thing is, I know as out of the character, almost all of them know what that is.
Oh yeah,
But in character,
because nothing terrible has happened, right?
they've only pulled the magic, the sword, the dancing sword card.
Okay.
I think I'm at a disadvantage because I'm not exactly sure what a deck of many things is.
Okay.
There are 12 cards, I want to say.
No, it's a whole deck.
Well, it's not 52. It is not that many. It is less than that. It is significantly less than that.
It's like I know it's super powerful and I know
I think it's
super
like
cool, but I don't know
25.
exactly what it is.
25 or 23, at least. And less than the lesser of the half are good things.
Basically, good, bad, and neutral cards.
Well, no. It's good or bad. There are no neutral cards in a deck of many things.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is you die.
Yeah.
And you cannot be resurrected.
Yep.
Another one is
10,000 XP.
Yeah.
Mm.
One wish.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of things
Instantly summon like a challenge rating 9 monster or
on
something.
your side.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. It's chaotic.
Kind of like Munchkin.
Yeah, basically.
it can do a shit.
I was shocked when he did it. Like, most DMs don't like to have it unless they're in control of what the cards are.
Well, to me, it's not necessarily just that. It adds the randomness, which kind of gets some people like, ooh, what's going to happen? Like, are they going to pull it when, like, they're in a really tight crunch? To me, it's like, are they ever going to really be in, like, tight crunch again? Like, to me, I feel like it's getting to the point now where we have, like...
They're getting too OP.
They just, all their items now are just, to me, Whisper is a friggin' broken item. Like, there's so much you can do with that thing and I feel it's underutilized for the most part. Literally, you travel to where that dagger gets embeds, regardless of where it is. Get a plank of wood, throw the plank of wood, throw the dagger, hit it, grab it, and you already have another plank of wood. You throw that and you throw it again. You never have to actually be, Vax technically would never have to then be, have his wings. He could fly you going from like board to board.
Yeah, but he's got to hit the board.
Oh yeah.
He's got to pull it out of the other board and then hit the next board.
To me, you make it small enough that once you hit it, you just break through.
I think you're trying to make it a lot more.
To me,
Imagine how does he get all those actions?
Well, he gets 3 actions. Or he has a boost of haste. You have 3 attacks. That's 3
When he
actions.
starts falling.
I don't know. I think that they're gearing up for a battle of the Raven Queen. I think that's coming.
Well, yeah, once they hit 20, it's pretty much taking on gods. Vax paying full price.
I think some of the comments that Matt made to her, God, it was a long time ago now. I want to say almost 6 months ago, like about the book. When she got all pissed off about having to pay full price for that book. And he kind of, I think jokingly but directly made a comment of, look at how much shit you get away with.
Yeah.
And so I think Laura probably took that to heart. And
I think she did the math and saw it was a pretty good deal.
well, and not only that, it's Amon. The whole point was to rebuild Amon.
Yeah.
Like, so she's really not wasting money, I'm sure, in her eyes. Now that she's flesh and she has the money, she knows that it's
Not just that.
good to rebuild.
She's also a baroness.
Yeah,
I mean, the title, but also being now going to be with Percy. Like, that's
she knows she has a home now.
She knows she has a place she can return to. She doesn't have to worry. To me, it was always before, money is what's going to get her through everything.
Yeah.
Because that's how she's going to get a home. That's how she's going to stay sane.
Well, and in her entire backstory, that's what she said. That was a reason.
Yeah. And now she doesn't
She
have
was
that
so
worry as much.
Yeah.
So they're on their way to the water Ashari.
Mm-hmm.
What do we think of the pirate ship?
I didn't really have too many thoughts about it.
No?
I have a feeling I'm still waiting for like a bunch of almost like I don't know what they're called in D&D, but like Murlocs coming out, like jumping onto the
Murlocs.
ships. Yeah.
They said they do find a lot of
I ran
monsters.
one of my first campaigns at the game room was with Murlocs.
Yeah. I just
At the Yawning Portal.
And the druid didn't want to kill them.
But having
It's basically their mating season, and they come up and cause damage to the bar. So
yeah, I see. I foresee something like that happening. That or they fail so hard at helping the ship run, or they start questioning that the captain's just like, "You're off. You're off here."
see, they're pirates. I'm expecting more of a betrayal. You have Tarry who's decked out in shiny jewels and armor. I don't see them staying loyal long, especially with how little they charge for the charter is what worried me.
Yeah, 150 gold per day.
Per day, yeah.
To me, that's still a lot.
It's only a day trip.
Oh, is it?
No, it's
No?
It's like a week
I
or
thought it was
2
like
weeks.
a week. Yeah.
Really?
That's
That
what I
was a
thought
week
too.
there, a week back.
I missed that then.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of the sea, in the Osmond Sea.
Okay.
Those ships don't travel very fast.
Which I also found weird because I feel like they've already been to the middle of the Osmond Sea, so they had.
That's where the Isle of Glass was.
Okay.
But that wasn't near the water shard.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No.
That was my problem.
They have
I was
fun.
totally picturing the lighthouse from BioShock, where
Yeah.
like that's all you see of them. It's just a lighthouse in the middle of the ocean.
Except it's just a white sandbar.
Because like when they were talking to the Earth Ashari,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, should we take a skyship or a boat? And the way he kind of hesitated about skyship, I was like, it's probably gonna shoot them out of the sky.
That was my. I kind of got that too. It's just like, okay, yeah, you can take the skyship. Because even with the skyship, it took, 3 days to get
Oh, it
from.
doesn't move fast.
From
And
Amon.
from Amon. Well, not from Amon.
I figured
from,
it's more like a blimp.
Yeah, from.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Remind me of the ones the Fire Nation has them.
Okay, yeah.
That's what it reminds me. That's what I.
I mean, that still moves at a decent clip. Moves faster than boats do. Because Amon to what's the fortress city? The one where the Slayer's Take is.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to think of too.
Wait,
The city that the Slayer's Take is
The
at.
big
it's
city.
Amon.
No. Slayer's Take is in the one.
Oh, Slayer. Sorry, Vasselheim.
Vasselheim, yeah.
I was thinking of the class.
So Amon to Vasselheim is like 5 days on an airship, and it's
Yeah.
like a week and a half to 2 weeks on a ship, like a boat.
Well, that's because isn't
It has to
Amon?
go around.
And
Yeah,
it's
it
around-
has to go
yeah.
around.
That's why I'm saying like it's like the airship is also just going to be faster because you
It's a
can
direct line.
it's direct line and you have a bigger you can look down and see where everything's at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. I do like them waiting to go to the Nine Hells until Ashley's back. I think that's a very smart decision.
And it also makes
Well, yeah,
sense.
she's got the armor for it too.
Yeah.
Well, and on top of that, Hodis came after her second.
I thought it was Vax and Vex who
That was
he's-
Max and Pike.
See, I don't even remember Pike being there. I remember it being Vex and Keyleth.
and Vex
Or
is-
Vax and Keyleth.
See,
Because they're the ones who got brain controlled.
well, who killed him the second time? Who got
Oh, the second time! That makes more sense. That was Pike.
Not the Slayer's Take. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Sorry,
when
yes.
when Hodis was Gilmore.
Yes.
I was trying to remember whoever killed him
It
second.
was Pike.
It was
Yeah.
Pike.
Then that's a good reason why they're waiting.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It was
I
like
thought
him
for
and
some
Pike.
reason I thought it was Vex. I'm like, oh, Vax and Vex. Like when he shows up again, they're
No,
already.
because like she couldn't get there. Like it took. I want to say like it took Laura forever to get to the actual fight.
Yeah,
For some reason.
she was asleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
something like that.
yeah.
That was the biggest thing. Is I mean, it all happened at night while people were asleep.
Yeah.
So
Because it changed the locale. Oh, and they got cut off by Hodis's like men or something.
Yeah, like his ninjas essentially.
Yeah.
so.
Anything we didn't like?
It felt like a lot. Well, this one to me, it's better than their planning episodes by far.
I love he had shopping on the list.
Right.
And Grog's like, God no, just take that off.
He's like,
No more shopping.
No, not any anytime soon, but at some point, I was like, yeah, he wants to kill a dragon. I was just like, oh my god,
No.
here we go, the dragons again.
Here's a scale. You've killed a dragon. Congratulations.
Trying to think what else.
No, for the most part, to me it was just like a lot of stuff happened in a very short amount of time. Like, but that's because we just have a brand new character, so it's getting all of their stuff out and so people can understand.
Which probably was a lot of like random things, like they returned the hands, and then they tried to go visit the bronze dragon.
Jamon.
Award.
And then she was hoping for Jarrett's
Acquittal.
That was so nice.
Yeah. See, that was originally what I shipped, was Vex and Jarrett.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And that was like when I came back from Craghammer, I want to say.
I feel like at that time, though, Vex was very much, I will flirt with anybody to kind of get my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she did a lot more.
But yeah, there was a lot of shipping of Vex and Jared back then.
Yeah.
Though the one thing I have to say I loved, and we didn't cover it yet, was Jared going, "Will you please just take this? Just take it off my hands. I don't want it anymore." And Vex going, "What is it?"
Is this drugs? Yes, in front of all
You
my
want to tell all my
trainees.
trainees? Yeah.
You heard nothing. Nothing.
The witnesses.
I also wonder, because now, I keep coming back to Tarry and being from Wildmount. Assume went to Wildmount to try and find information on the Briarwoods. We really haven't spent any real time with Assume.
Nope.
Since he's been back, because all the Assume stuff was actually Raishan.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I feel like there's something more Briarwood related, essentially.
Well,
Or
how did the
Briarwood
Briarwoods?
adjacent.
How did the Briarwoods find Vecna?
I wouldn't be surprised if there's more coming, because
Oh yeah.
vampires usually have
Coven.
a coven or yeah.
Well, and to me, it's not just that. It's you think Vecna is going to stop after just one of its slaves is taken? No, it's gonna have multiple. So where are the other ones?
Yeah. Well, and maybe it's not the Raven Queen god battle that's coming. Maybe it's Vecna.
Mm-hmm.
I know Matt's gonna find a way to bring out Vecna.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I'm just saying, like,
It's.
I
Not
feel like he has so much planned for Vecna that's just sitting there now,
Yeah.
and he's like, one day we'll get there.
We'll
You
try-
will be free, my master.
it's still one of my favorite drawings, I think, Plans. We're going to Marrakesh.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. But even Sam said, Matt gave him, 3 places to pick where he was
Yeah.
from, and he chose Wildmount.
Mhm.
But I've got to think, if Matt's giving him choices, he had ideas tied to each of those choices.
Yeah.
Matt's too thorough not to have thought everything.
Yeah.
through.
Well, no. To me, it's
I feel like you build a character and you give him this backstory, and Matt goes, "Okay, well, these
it
are
fits.
these are the locations he could have been from. Then
Yeah. Because
nothing else would make sense in this world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because him being from Amman wouldn't make much sense.
They would know him.
They would know him.
They've
They
been
would
there
have his
long
family.
enough, especially with his family being rich. They would have heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And his robot.
Yeah.
That's just.
Well, he could have been from Vasselheim,
Well, that's what I'm curious about. What was he doing in
Marrakesh.
Marrakesh?
To me, that was what got me. Was just like, okay, why?
That's why I do like your theory about why he's there.
Yeah.
Because, if he knew about them, and, say theoretically he's had somebody following them,
Yeah.
then he would have known that they had to come back to Marrakesh to return Ripley's arms.
Well, here's my biggest thing that I've always. Well, they had both of her arms.
But
Did they really?
Yes.
Yeah, they did. They returned both arms, although they only had.
I thought they only took the second. Percy wanted the mechanical arm.
Yeah, he did.
But they had to return the mechanical arm.
No, they had
No.
to turn in the human arm.
Yeah.
Oh.
They
I was saying they only took the mechanical because
but
Percy wanted to inspect it and
to
tinker with
to
it.
tinker with it.
Oh, I thought they.
Yeah,
had
he wanted to see what she did because it was really intricate and really
Yeah.
well done. That
See,
he
I
wanted-
thought that was the proof was that it was a lady with a mechanical
It was a winner
arm.
man.
No, my
But that's
that's what I'm saying. Like, if he knew all that, then he knew, okay, at some point they've got to come back to Marrakesh.
No,
That's where they're going to be.
here's something I've had an idea of for a very long time. Is that every time they have done like a transportation via plants.
Yeah.
Well, someone invisible can go through that just as well as anyone else.
Oh, yeah, they'd never know.
Yes. Because they have never, ever done a sea invisibility or fairy fire, anything that is related to detect magic around them.
They've done fairy fire, but it's been with the dragon.
Yes, and I don't think someone invisible is going into a dragon's
No,
lair.
I don't think so either. I think you're right on that point. But I'm like, they have used fairy fire.
Yes. But that's my thing. My thing is, I have a feeling that it is something that is used every once in a while in different people's campaigns, where it's like, hey, there is a secret agent, like a secret group that goes out and goes and follows important people around to say this is what they're doing, this is where they're going.
That could have been a fun thing to do with the dog. Like, have him, like, they just think he's nuts because he's barking at nothing.
Yeah. He smells them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or because a lot of times, like, they say, you know, what is it? Like, in horror movies, like, the cats can see the ghost, basically.
Yeah.
Things like that, you know. Where, like, certain invisibility type spells don't work on animals.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason Trinket was everywhere because he's always in the ball.
Yep.
I don't know.
And the only
Could
time,
be a possibility.
Only time Trinket's out is during battle.
Yeah.
For that 1 second.
Yep.
Yeah.
For that one round, and
Until he
then
dies.
back in the ball. Back in the necklace.
It's like, I love Trinket. I wish there was a little bit more with him, like there was in the beginning. Like, I don't feel like he has really any storyline with Vex anymore, which is
Well,
kind of
Well,
sad.
she's also multi-classing now too, so she's not doing Trinket any favors.
Well, to me, it's not just that. It's Trinket. It was good in the early level, or early for a ranger. You can have a pet at a certain level compared to your level, your CR or the CR. Well, Trinket's like a CR1. And they're fighting CR 9, 10, 12 things. Like, the dragons were CR 28s. Like, Trinket, not even get close. You need, like, I think it's like 1,000 trinkets.
He needs a vestige.
No. Unfortunately, Trinket's the one who, it should just be like, okay, you're going to be sitting now back at, back guarding, why am I forgetting the name?
Graceful?
No. The
I feel like she should leave him somewhere to train.
yeah. Well, not to train, but just like be around.
Either that or that could have been. Because didn't they meet bears in the Feywild?
Yeah, he was supposed to get. That's where he got his bump. He should
Yeah.
be better.
But I'm also saying, like, if they go back to Feywild, that could be a beautiful parting.
Yeah.
Where he becomes part of.
Just be like Ash and release all our Pokemon. You belong back in the wild, so someone else can fucking capture you.
Well, I don't mean it like that. I mean, like,
No.
so he can build a life and be with his own kind. Like,
Vex is his life.
yeah.
He's personally said that. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, no.
separating them would kill him.
Yeah. No, to me it would be like, but
It's just
putting
how it's a cub. That's
Yeah.
true.
but putting him in like, guarding Percy's sister,
Yeah.
and that way there's a home, and also now Trinket.
And then you can buddy up with the wolf.
Yeah, but then also
The
like
wolf is Max's familiar. I keep forgetting where the wolf came
The
from.
wolf is Grog's familiar, I believe.
Okay.
yes, Grog's familiar that Scanlan ended up befriending. Because Scanlan was the only one who did a high enough animal handling to handle the wolf.
Okay. It's like I totally spaced on it. It's like I remember something vaguely about it, but
No, it's Grog's, but
Anything we're hoping to see in the next episode?
I would not mind some Tarry and Vax rivalry for Keyleth. I would not mind that at all. I think that could be a little bit interesting.
Some maybe housing arrangements that throw a wrench into their...
Well, because there's 3 rooms?
6 rooms. 6 rooms with 2 to 3 beds per room.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the whole point was they were all going to have to double up.
They are. They're
For the
going
most part,
to.
yeah.
Because
So,
there's 12 there's 12 sailors. 12 crew members. So that means 4 of the 6 rooms are taken from the sailors.
So there's only 2 rooms.
For the most part,
For
yeah.
the most part.
See, I'm thinking like they have 3 rooms. You've got, theoretically, you'd have Vax and Keyleth in one, Percy and Vex in the other, and then Grog and Tarry. And well, I could see Grog being like, no, little man, you're not staying with me. And so he goes and crashes with Vax and Keyleth.
How immediately does he get seasick?
I don't know. He does have boating shoes.
He does have cruise attire.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
I think I like Tarry. I like Tarry a lot. I think Tarry it's Scanlan, but like Scanlan type humor, but a little bit more like aggressive towards the other characters.
It's the Gilderoy Lockhart we never actually got to see in Harry Potter. We get to see Gilderoy Lockhart's adventures.
That's very true.
That's what I like about it.
Well, thank you for joining me tonight. Hopefully you guys will return next week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let us know in the comments below or tweet at us what you hope to see and what you liked about this episode, and we'll continue the dialogue. I've been Kenneth Cattigat. This has been Aurora Jane and Justin Firewolf. Keep rolling.